Have you ever been driving down the highway and suddenly found yourself behind a brand new truck that costs more than most people's houses? You know the one I'm talking about. The gleaming monster with chrome everything, leather seats that probably cost more than your monthly rent, and a payment that would make your mortgage broker weep. And here's the thing that really gets me. The person driving it probably makes less money than you do. So what's going on here? How are regular people somehow affording these astronomical car payments that seem to defy basic mathematics? My name is Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about money and why people make the financial decisions they do. If you've ever wondered how your neighbor can afford that $70,000 pickup truck while complaining about grocery prices, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it helps explain this modern mystery. Now, before we dive into the mechanics of how people are pulling this off, let me paint you a picture of what we're actually dealing with here. The average new car payment in America has crossed into territory that would have been considered absolutely insane just a decade ago. We're talking about monthly payments that exceed what many people pay for rent. And yet somehow millions of Americans are signing on the dotted line every single month, driving off the lot in vehicles that cost more than the median household income. But here's where it gets really interesting. Most of these people aren't secretly millionaires hiding their wealth. They're not crypto billionaires or trust fund babies. They're teachers, nurses, mechanics, retail workers, and office employees. Regular folks with regular jobs who somehow found a way to make the numbers work. Or at least they think they did. The truth is, there's a whole system designed to make these impossible payments seem possible. And understanding how this system works isn't just about satisfying curiosity. It's about protecting yourself from making a financial decision that could derail your future for the next 7 to 10 years. Let's start with the most obvious question. How much are we actually talking about here? Because when I tell people the average car payment numbers, they usually assume I'm making them up. The average new car payment has climbed to over $700 per month. $700, that's not for a luxury vehicle or some exotic sports car. But it gets worse when you start looking at trucks and SUVs, which have become the default choice for most American buyers. These payments routinely exceed $900 per month. And it's not uncommon to see payments over $200. Been $200 every single month for 6.7 or even 8 years. We're talking about payments that total more than $80,000 over the life of the loan. Now you might be thinking, well, Nick, maybe people are just making a lot more money these days. Maybe wages have gone up enough to support these kinds of payments. And if that's what you're thinking, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's not what's happening at all. The median household income has increased, sure, but nowhere near enough to justify these payment amounts using traditional financial wisdom. So how are people doing it? The answer lies in a combination of factors that have fundamentally changed how Americans approach car buying. And none of these factors are necessarily good news for the people signing these loan documents. First, let's talk about loan terms. Remember when a car loan was 3 years? Maybe 4 if you really stretched it. Those days are as dead as the flip phone. Today's car loans routinely stretch 6, 7, or 8 years into the future. If you spread that $60,000 truck payment over 8 years instead of 4, the monthly payment drops significantly. Suddenly, that truck that would have required a $1,500 monthly payment over 4 years becomes manageable at $900 over 8 years. The monthly number looks reasonable, which is exactly what the buyer focuses on. But here's what most people don't think about when they're sitting in that dealership. By extending the loan term, they're not just lowering the monthly payment. They're dramatically increasing the total amount they'll pay for the vehicle. That $900 payment over 8 years adds up to over $86,000 compared to about $72,000 if they had taken the 4-year loan. That's an extra $14,000 just for the privilege of having a lower monthly payment. Even worse, they'll be making payments on that truck long after it's worth a fraction of what they paid for it. Cars depreciate rapidly.